Hello and welcome everybody, what is going on? So we're here today to discuss Kingsley Coman, because quite frankly it is something that needs to be discussed and that needs to be talked about. And considering that we are FC controversial, we're FC, you could still call us FC Hollywood. I don't think we're quite there yet, but I don't think we're quite there yet to revive the old days, but you know, we are pretty controversial at the moment. And one of the major controversies comes from Kingsley Coman, who I'll discuss what he did in a second, and I'll discuss what might happen in the future as well after that. But yeah, so I mean, a lot of you guys will probably have different opinions about this. I think I've seen a lot of people talk about this specific topic, and a lot of people agreed with the general consensus that is, you know, that he was wrong, that he shouldn't have done that, and that we should probably sell him. And then I've seen a lot of people that say, yeah, he was wrong, but that's an external matter. That's not really an on the pitch kind of thing. So you know, whatever he did, he's still an FC Bayern player, and he should still, you know, be here. And I've seen both arguments. I've seen also people say, you know, defending him, saying that, you know, what he did, although it might seem wrong at first, he had a very valid reason, and that is why, you know, that's why that's understandable. I'll give you my take at the end, but let me just talk about the facts first, so it doesn't just sound confusing if you don't know what is going on. So essentially what happened is that Kingsley Coman, his ex-girlfriend used his Instagram account to promote a sponsor. First of all, that's a red flag. Let's just say that's a red flag right off the get-go. But I'll get into that in a second. So his ex-girlfriend used his Instagram, Kingsley Coman's Instagram, to post about sponsors, to post about her own sponsors on his Instagram. And Kingsley Coman got furious and apparently hit her. Domestic violence. That is this crime. He committed domestic violence against his ex-girlfriend, and she's at the point where she had to be signed off of work for 8 days, according to reports. Now, by the way, I'll leave a few links in the description down below, so if you want, you can actually read upon it yourself. But that's essentially what happened. You know, that's essentially what happened. He hit her, and now she can't go to work for 8 days. Ultimately, now he was arrested, and he admitted to the assault. And then he was released on the same day. So right now, you know, he's at home or whatever, or on holidays, doing whatever he wants, essentially, because, you know, he's already out. What else? Well, first of all, Coman himself called the police after the argument, and then when the police arrived, his ex-girlfriend then complained to the police, you know, saying what happened and whatnot, and saying that he hit her, and that's essentially where this whole thing exploded, kind of, you know. So, yeah, the case will be heard in the summer, at the end of the summer. Like I said, this is all according to reports. I don't want to keep saying according to reports, but this is all according to reports. So the case will be heard at the end of the summer, and he's expected to plead guilty because, well, he admitted to the assault already. So I mean, that's just the logical conclusion. And there's a verdict to be expected for September. So in September we'll know more. Essentially, that's the main thing. Okay, so that's the facts. That's the fact, and we've got the facts out of the way now. Obviously, a lot of people now think, you know, well, that's not really a justifiable reason to hit somebody, and I totally agree with that. You know, I'm totally on the side. I think you shouldn't really hit people. You shouldn't really hit anyone just because of that, you know. But the thing is, and I'm not trying to defend him. I'm just being impartial right now. I'm not going for either side. But basically, what I'm saying is that the first red flag should have been his ex-girlfriend having his Instagram account. I think depends on how good your terms are with your ex-girlfriend. I don't think especially your ex-girlfriend, when you have a new girlfriend, your ex-girlfriend really shouldn't be able to access your social media accounts. And that obviously, depending on where you live, obviously that was in France. The case is being heard in France. It happened in France. But if that case happened somewhere else, then you'd have the Fraud Act. You'd have even in France, they've got the consumer fraud, which I'll quickly read the description, which is basically deceiving a purchaser as to the nature, quality, quantity, or appropriateness of merchandise. Now, clearly, if she was promoting a sponsor on Coman's account, that is clearly the case that she was trying to deceive people in favor of the sponsor. So she ultimately, committed consumer fraud, and he ultimately committed assault, which they're both not innocent. I mean, that's basically the point I'm trying to bring across. They are both not innocent, and quite frankly, both of them are in the wrong. I don't think anyone is in the right. Obviously, she got hit. You know, she got physically hurt. You could say that he got hurt in different ways. Much more, you know, much more financially, with obviously the sponsors and whatnot. Now, if you actually check his Instagram is down, so that is also something that happened, you know, which is kind of obvious, you know, that you would delete your Instagram after something like that. And a lot of people are confused because they're saying that, you know, Coman, he should have apologized. First of all, he should have apologized for what happened. Bayern themselves, they haven't actually made a comment about that whatsoever. So everyone's waiting to see what Bayern actually says. So right now, I guess everyone is just playing a waiting game. Obviously, the verdict is being heard in September. What the outcome will be, we don't know. I mean, he's expected to plead guilty, so it won't be that big of a thing. I think he might have to pay a little bit of cash. I don't know how the French law system works exactly, but he probably has to pay a bit of cash, and that's it. That really. But I'm also intrigued what happens to her, because obviously she violated his privacy by using his Instagram, which to commit essentially consumer fraud. So it's quite a tricky case. It's quite an interesting case actually. But ultimately, I think Kingsley Coman is in the wrong. No matter what happens, no matter, you know, the reason, he's ultimately in the wrong, and that's the curse of, I guess, being in the limelight, in the spotlight. That whatever action you do, it's kind of it gets highlighted. You know, whatever you do, people will know about it. You know, whatever you do, whether it's good or bad, it'll be in the news. And in this case, obviously, it's bad. So that's out there. You know, that is out there right now, and half the fandom don't care. I think, you know, in reality, I don't think half the fandom, they're just like, yeah, it's just what happens, and then, you know, he's gonna get back. You know, give it 2-3 weeks, and everyone will have forgotten about that. And the other half are just split in half. So I don't know. You have 25% of people who are like, he needs to go. 25% of people who say, you know, that was a mistake. But it is what it is. And then you have 50% of people just saying, who really cares? And personally, I'm probably, I don't know where I would put myself. I'm in the case of, that was a really stupid thing to do. But I think I'm just waiting right now. I'm just waiting to see what Bayern does, because that's more interesting. Do I want him gone? I like Coman as a player, I do, but as a person, that is kind of a shady thing to do. That's a really bad thing to do. But I don't want to jump to any conclusions before I hear all the details, and I think we're only going to get all the details once it's actually been heard in court, once you actually know a lot more than we do right now, and that's why I'm just kind of on the fence. But I just want to know about you guys. You know, what is your position on this? You know, what do you think is going? First of all, what do you think is going to happen? You know, in terms of Bayern and Coman, will Bayern release him? I don't see that happening. In all honesty, really. We had worse cases, and let's be totally honest, we've had worse cases. We've had worse players. You know, even the higher ups did things that don't. Yeah. I'm just saying, I don't have a watch on right now, but most of you guys will know what I'm talking about. So. It is what it is. Like I said, that's just my take. It is what it is. I'm gonna wait until I know more, and then when I know more, then I'll give you my take. But I think it's a very bad thing to do. But I wouldn't jump the gun right now and say Coman out. You know, maybe that's just because I like him so much as a player. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comment section down below. As always, people can rate, comment, favorite, subscribe. I don't have an Instagram that you can follow me, and even if I did, I wouldn't post a sponsor. Hashtag sponsor me. Hashtag that's a joke. But yeah, until next time, everybody, peace out and have a nice day. Bye.